That's it. There's a lot of people out there going this week.
Bummer.
Yeah.
That's a week one to remember.
Man.
All kinds of stuff going on. I mean, injuries and people playing out that you weren't even expecting.
Yeah.
Studs not even showing up.
It was almost reminiscent for me personally last year when I took Adrian Peterson round 1. And I took David Johnson this year.
Yeah. David Johnson. We still don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, if you're out there with David Johnson, cross your fingers.
Yes.
It could be anywhere from playing next week to being out more than half the season.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So my anxiety levels are
it's kind of like up and down a little bit before the coffee.
Exactly.
How you all doing out there? Welcome to next episode of Fantasy Headliners. Busy week one. Coming with you with some waiver wire targets.
Oh, yeah.
And some start-sit information. A lot of people going to be on the radar this week.
Yes.
Lots of people. Few people we kind of knew about, we were kind of expecting. We didn't quite expect it week one, maybe.
Right.
But they came out and balled out, and now everybody and their mother's going to want them.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, this is, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Sunday was the Tarik Cohen day.
Man. The human joystick.
The human joystick. We actually talked about him last week.
Yes, we did.
We briefly mentioned him last week as somebody to watch out for. He's somebody we've been watching. I don't think we were expecting it week one.
No.
But he came out yesterday, 5 carries for 66 yards, 8 catches for 47 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's not a bad NFL debut.
No. And for all you North Carolinians, Aggie pride. So Tarik representing, for the Aggies here in the home state. Yeah, he looked awesome, man.
He looked tiny.
Yeah.
I think what we did is when we talked about him last week, we referred to him as me watching my 9-year-old play.
Right.
And I mean, it was. I mean, he looks smaller than Darren Sproles.
Right.
But he can move.
Man, he's quick.
Like a young Darren Sproles. I mean, Darren Sproles don't move like that no more.
No.
But he's quick. He changes direction. He's exciting.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that the Bears, they want to get him involved.
And they're struggling. The Bears' offense is pretty dismal right now, and pretty much, they can, have Tarik out in different ways, use him in different fashion. So he's going to be a formidable weapon.
Especially now. I mean, they've lost another, I don't know if I can call him a playmaker, but Kevin White, the man made of glass, broke his collarbone.
I feel bad for the dude, man. I mean, he has so much potential coming out. I mean,
he just can't stay healthy.
No.
I think if he could stay healthy, he'd be an elite receiver.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not. Mike Lennon's the quarterback.
Yeah.
He had the potential to be an elite receiver.
Right.
But, I mean, you just can't trust him. And unfortunately, I don't think his career is going to be a very long one in the NFL.
No. I mean, I thought some prayers out to him. Hopefully he bounces back. Because, again, like I said, he's got so much potential. But, yeah, it doesn't look too good.
Doesn't look too good for him.
Not at all.
But Tarik Cohen, definitely, like I said, somebody you need to target this week.
Indeed.
Whether you just do it off of waivers or you do it off of fab budget. Now, let me preface this by saying Tarik Cohen is somebody that, yes, you definitely would like to add, but don't go spending huge amounts of your fab budget on Tarik Cohen. He's still going to be there with Jordan Howard. It's not like it's Tarik Cohen and only Tarik Cohen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, like you saw yesterday, he got 5 carries. I think he's going to be a lot more involved in the passing game than the running game, as long as Jordan Howard is healthy. But, I'm not going out and spending huge amounts of fab budget on him.
No. You got to temper your expectations when it comes to Tarik and that whole offense in general. Like I said, it depends on game flow, things of that nature. But again, like you said, Jordan Howard's the bell cow. So you kind of look at it. To me, honestly, I mean, if you can spend a little fat budget on him, okay, cool. But I would almost give it another week just to see, which I know a lot of people are not going to do it.
Somebody's going to go out there and they're going to take him this week, or they're going to bid high.
Yeah.
However they're going to do it, but he won't be there.
No.
After this week. especially with some of the injuries and the people that are banged up.
Yeah.
Somebody will take Tarik Cohen.
Yeah.
And I can't fault him for it. I'm just not going to be the guy that overpays for it.
No.
I mean, he's going to be good. Like I said, you save those big chunks of fab budget for injury replacements, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice player, but you know what? In a lot of leagues, Darren Sproles is still available.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
you don't get Tarik Cohen, Darren Sproles is like the veteran version of Tarik Cohen.
Yeah,
and he's still getting play.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, if you miss out on one, there's others out there.
Yeah.
Next one we want to talk about. I think we've talked about in like 3 episodes ish. Right around there. Mm-hmm. Another guy that we were expecting big things from.
Yeah.
Not quite in week 1.
Right.
Mr. Kenny Golladay.
Yes.
Showed up for the Detroit Lions yesterday. 4 catches for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they were nice touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he stretched out, man, and I didn't think he was going to get it. But that offense, man, is going to be phenomenal this year. Stafford, he got paid, which he should. I've always liked. Yeah, he got a lot of money. Golden Tate, but again, Golladay was the highlight of that day, I guess you would say. But they got so much talent around that offense, man. If you get any piece of that, will be awesome.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the Kenny Golladay show every week.
No.
People need to realize that not every week is he going to go out there and get 69 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
I mean, I was really impressed with Golden Tate. I was not expecting. I actually benched Tate in my home team here because I was like, he's going against Patrick Peterson.
Right.
I thought it was going to be more of a Marvin Jones type of day.
Yeah.
I knew Kenny would be involved. I didn't think he just happened to get the touchdowns.
Right.
I mean, that's just how that worked out, and that's not going to be that way every week.
No.
So, by all means, Kenny Golladay is somebody you need to target and go after, but don't expect what you got yesterday every week. Lots of targets there to go around.
Right. And again, like I said, he is really the third receiver. Mm-hmm. And if Ebron starts to play like he's supposed to, Kenny could fall back to be the 4th, because Ebron is going to soak up, those red zone looks. So
he's definitely worthy of a roster spot.
Yeah.
I don't think he's worthy to start yet.
No.
I wouldn't trust him to start him yet.
No.
In my lineup. Like you said, you got to see it for more than 1 week.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Next one I got on the list that we need to go after, Nelson Agholor of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles looked good yesterday.
They were flying yesterday.
Man, the poor Redskins looked like they were lost.
Yeah.
Which surprised us. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we expected a little bit more from the Redskins.
Yeah, especially at home.
Mm-hmm.
That home opener, man. I thought Kurt was going to come out slinging that ball.
Mm-hmm. He slang it. It just didn't get slung anywhere correctly.
Or to the right opponent.
Yeah.
But, Nelson, man, he's always been a nice talent. I think now he's finally got a quarterback that's going to, give him the ball in the right spots, man. Carson Wentz, gosh, I think he scored like 30-some points yesterday.
Yeah, he had a huge day. Absolutely huge day for Carson Wentz. And we were kind of expecting that.
Yeah, we talked about him.
Yeah, and, Josh Norman, for the most part, took Alshon Jeffrey out of the equation. Mm-hmm. Torrey Smith is never going to be a huge target guy.
No.
But Nelson Agholor in the slot could be interesting.
Could be pretty.
I mean, he came, highly regarded out of college, out of USC.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended with 6 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I believe he could probably do on a weekly basis. Maybe not the touchdown score, but the 6 catches for 86. Easy. I mean, that's going to be, especially for him. I mean, I think he's always used to being, I don't want to call him the top option because he was never been in Philly. He was his whole college career.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now that Jordan Matthews is gone, Nelson Agholor kind of takes over that role kind of, and I mean, I think he's going to excel in it.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah. I really can see him having some big weeks consistently because of the fact that Alshon's going to draw, that number 1 corner coverage. So definitely, man, he's going to be the number 2 option. Philly's got they got a lot of talent.
They got a lot of talent.
You got
Ertz looked really good.
Yeah,
and they're going to look for Ertz.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, I think Ertz preseason was ranked like the 11th or 12th tight end, somewhere right around top 10.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that kid has potential to be top 3 to 4.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're going to look for him.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of people are down because Kelsey had a down week on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not down week, but not a normal Kelsey week.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Ertz is right up there. And he doesn't get credit for it.
No.
He's not going to ever get credit for it, I don't think, because he's not going to see the touchdown side of it. He's not really their goal line target.
Right.
But, I mean, he's going to eat receptions all year long.
Oh, yeah. And I was surprised with Blunt, to be honest with you.
Yes and no. Blunt, I still think, is going to be touchdown dependent.
Yeah. I think for me, he showed flashes of what he did last year. And a lot of people, I think, were down on him when they were going into the draft simply because he wasn't on a New England offense. But now that I look at it, I saw how Wentz played, how, Agholor, all these other pieces. I'm not saying that he could repeat that success, but he's somebody you might want to keep an eye on. If somebody has him, hey, you might want to look at maybe possibly trying to trade for him.
Yeah,
because he's going to be a red zone threat. I think
he's going to every time they get inside the 10 or the 5, Blunt's going to be touching the ball. I mean, I don't think he's got to worry about Sproles or Smallwood.
No.
I mean, they weren't really. Sproles was more involved in the passing game. Smallwood, I don't think, had more than.
Smallwood.
I know. I just like to keep saying it. That's one of the only times I can say it in one show.
Well, not too many.
Start getting censored and read my censor beat, right? No, but I mean, he's something, you need to watch for. I mean, I guarantee you he's owned in whatever league you're in. Unless you're in a 4-man league.
Wow. Man,
if those exist. I don't know if those exist.
Man, can you imagine?
No. It'd be like an all-pro roster.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
It'd probably almost be boring.
I don't know. I like to win. I don't care who I don't care.
Yeah. Winning's fun.
Winning, I love it.
Another guy, though, that I think I would actually almost put ahead of some of these other guys that we've already talked about. And he had a lot of preseason hype. A lot of people, raving over this kid, and I know it. I'm already starting to hear it about the Rams. Yeah. I've been trashing the Rams for 13 episodes. Yeah. And yesterday the Rams go out there and put up 40-plus points on the Colts.
Yeah.
So you got to realize that was on the Colts.
Right.
Let's see what they do not playing a JV team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Cooper Kupp yesterday looked like he was pretty much the real deal.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like I said, they are playing the Colts, so you have to temper your expectations. But Cooper Kupp is going to be, I think you called him Linus, or like the safety blanket for Jared Goff.
Yeah,
and he is.
Yeah.
He ended up with 4 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown. I believe he led the team in targets. Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be a week in, week out type production for him. Yeah,
I mean, you look at that offense, again, when they brought the new coaching regime in, that was one of the things that they wanted to implement and show that, hey, we're going to be an exciting, fast-paced type of offense. And Cooper, man, he's a talented receiver. And to be honest with you, if you're looking at him and maybe even Golladay, I'd almost want to lean towards Cooper for the simple fact I think he'll be used a tad bit more consistently. I would feel more comfortable in week 2. Yeah. At my flex position or wide receiver 3 position, starting Cooper Kupp over Kenny Galladay. Yeah. Because he's going to get the looks. He's going to get the touches. Galladay's got the upside. Yeah, absolutely. Long term. Mm-hmm. If I need production next week, I'm going Cooper Kupp. Absolutely. And again, like I said, it's one of those situations, Sammy, he's going to continue to draw, that number 1 coverage. So Cooper's they're going to put him all over the field. And then when Gurley starts to continue to run, I mean, Gurley didn't look too bad. He didn't look bad. He just didn't do anything special. No. He was more involved in the passing game than I thought he was going to be. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, man. I mean, McVay's going to open that offense up, man. I mean, it's going to be exciting. If you would have told me a couple weeks ago that not only would Jared Goff outscore Tom Brady, but that he would embarrass the numbers that Tom Brady put, I would probably quit fantasy football. Well, yeah. But, again, like I said, I've been pretty high on that Rams offense. And I know we kind of went back and forth on it. And I get it. I mean, I understand it. But Goff to me is kind of one of those wait and see stash type players. Since we're talking about waivers, I'm not saying go out and pick him up this week.
Please don't.
Yeah, right. But just keep an eye on him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because like I said, his performance, it's one of those things. We live in this world. What have you done for me lately?
Yep.
So if he continues to excel,
whatever you do, don't drop Tom Brady for Jared Goff.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
No.
Please don't do that.
No.
Not at all. All right, who you got, Matt? Who's somebody you got on your list?
Charles Clay is somebody that's very intriguing to me. Mm-hmm. Yesterday he had 9 targets for 53 yards and a TD. That whole situation going on in Buffalo, we don't know what's going on.
No.
I mean, your sure thing right now is shady all day. Hell yeah! Coming from the shady owner.
That's right. I mean, he had a huge day, and I think more than anything that what excites people with Shady is I think he had 27 total touches.
Yeah, man.
In the game. I mean, that's a lot.
They're gonna keep feeding him. Fat Tolbert's gonna go out there and he's gonna vulture some targets.
Yeah, Fat Tolbert.
You know what I mean?
That dude is a beast.
He is, man.
It looks like he eats like spaghetti and bread pudding on the bench and then goes out and runs. The dude is just round.
Yeah. I think him, Lacey, and Jerome Bettis, I can see all of them at a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Just hanging out at Golden Corral, just chilling. You know what I mean? That's what I look. That's what I see when I see
second week Golden Corral. We mentioned.
Oh, hey, hint.
Sponsor. But Charles is he's a sneaky play, man. So if anybody's out there looking for an upside tight end, I'd look at him because I think he's going to continue to get those targets. Tyrod, when he gets in trouble, which he does often, he's got to look for that safety blanket, and Charles Clay is sitting around between that 5-10 yard line, just hovering around,
just waiting. Yep, just wait.
Throw me the ball,
and it's working.
Exactly,
it's definitely working, and it's happened before.
Yeah,
Clay has always produced. Mm-hmm. He's just never been a top 10 type of tight end. But if you didn't pick up a tight end earlier, you're streaming tight ends weekly.
Yeah,
that's somebody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You should probably pay attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd feel more comfortable with Charles Clay than Eric Ebron right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or, well, I don't know. I still got high hopes for Fleener, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
see. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. What about Paul Richardson? Paul Richardson's somebody interesting. I know we've talked about him before also.
Yeah.
He had 4 catches for 59 yards yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overall, that whole offense for Seattle struggled against Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Not quite the scoring game that I thought it was going to be.
No.
Aaron Rodgers still put up decent Aaron Rodgers numbers against a top-ranked Seattle defense. Mm-hmm. But Paul Richardson is in the role that Jermaine Kearse had. So it's pretty much Paul Richardson and Doug Baldwin.
Yeah.
And Paul Richardson shows flashes of like otherworldly talent. I mean, he can just make some plays that, drop your jaw, and then he can disappear for a quarter or two and you don't see him.
Right.
He's just not consistent. But this dude, if given the targets,
yes, I
mean, he's got all the talent in the world.
Yeah. I mean, he had about 7 or 8 targets yesterday, and he's on the cusp. Did I say that right? Cusp. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of becoming, a surefire wide receiver 2. He's definitely that in that offense.
Yes.
So a Seattle offense, man, which I still highly believe in. I mean, I've talked up, which is somebody we'll probably talk about here in a minute, but I've talked up, the rookie Carson. I think Russell's going to have a bounce back, even though he had a bad game yesterday. But, Green Bay played well. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that was more of Russell being rusty. Man, say that fast.
That's right.
A few times. But Paul Richardson, yeah, man, he's gonna be electric. I still like Tyler Lockett, but he's he's definitely that
third option, fourth behind Jimmy Graham, probably.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy, he didn't have a great game at all.
No, and you know what? I'll disagree a little bit with you. I'm not as high on the offense as a whole because that offensive line is just.
Right.
Horrible.
Right.
And I think all year long, Russell's going to be running for his life. and they're not going to have time for some of these plays to develop.
Yeah.
And Russell's going to have to dump it off somewhere, or I mean, they can't even run the ball consistently. There's just nowhere for these guys to run. Carson has a lot of talent.
Oh yeah.
He's just, you can't run anywhere if the defense is in your face the second you get the ball.
Yeah.
And so he's very, I want to say high upside for Carson if he could win that outright job. Yeah. But that offensive line is going to limit everybody, I believe, for the season. I just don't. I mean, look what happened last year.
Yeah.
Russell was running for his life, ended up injuring his ankle, and from that point on, he wasn't as effective. It wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens again, because Russell's just not getting protected.
Yeah.
He's...
that's
I mean, luckily he can run.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if that was a non-mobile quarterback out there, he probably would have died by now.
Yeah, if he was Eli Manning,
he'd be done. Well, I think Eli Manning may be done anyway.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
He looked horrible.
Oh, man.
I was talking to somebody on Twitter, and I don't remember the exact text of the conversation, but he said, you know, does Eli remember that Brandon Marshall plays out there? And I said, I don't think Eli remembers to put his helmet on. I think somebody has to remind him of that.
Yeah.
He just looked horrible.
Yeah.
That whole offense, and I can't imagine that's just because of Odell. I'm sure that plays a big part of it.
Right.
But, come on. They were rated the #1 trio of wide receivers in the league.
Yeah.
Now they still have to have one of the top duos.
Yeah.
Even though they lost their best guy. Brandon Marshall and Sterling Shepard aren't bad.
No.
And, I mean, Paul Perkins couldn't run anywhere. I know we're getting off topic here, but it just happened to, happened to roll into it. But it's just the whole offense just didn't look...
No.
Evan Ingram showed flashes.
He did.
I mean, he doesn't look like a tight end.
No, I thought it was a wide receiver.
He looks
bigger
like
version of... Well, I don't want to say a bigger version of Odell, but he looks like a tight end.
Yeah, he looks like a receiver. I mean, he does. I mean, he's got that tall body, but he's not real. He doesn't have a real big build. He's quick, good hands. Evan Ingram's probably somebody to keep on watching. I know we've talked about him before too.
But again, like I said, it just depends on the quarterback, and you know, I just man, you would think with the talent that they have, Eli should throw for 4,000 easily. I just think when the good Lord was sprinkling out his the attributes,
it all went
to Peyton. He's like, and then Eli, sorry. So he just kind of
Eli just got what was left over from the two other brothers. Because I remember hearing stories too that the older brother Cooper,
I think it was a tight end, wasn't he?
I don't remember what he was, but I heard that he was really good too.
Yeah.
I think Eli just got the scraps. Yeah. It's like whatever dust was left on the table, they just
There you go, Eli. Yeah.
All right. Well, we just lost all Giants fans, but hey,
sorry.
We like the Giants offense.
Yeah.
We just didn't like Eli Manning last night.
No, and hopefully he'll get better.
Yeah. What about a running back yesterday that I think surprised a lot of people with the amount of work that he got? I don't think we're surprised that he got work, but Mr. Buck Allen.
Old Buck.
Uncle Buck in Baltimore. Man. I mean, I think this has to do with Danny Woodhead.
Yep.
Tweaked his hamstring. How long he's going to miss, not quite for sure yet.
Yeah.
So Buck Allen, I think he had like 21 carries. Yep, 21 carries for 71 yards.
Yes.
Not huge numbers, but I'm pretty sure that the Buck Allen Terrence West thing is going to be more of like a 50-50 split.
Yeah, it will. It'll carry on. Like I said, it just depends on how long Woodhead's gonna be missing time. But yeah, Buck Allen's somebody you probably want to keep an eye on. And yeah, I can see that being a 50-50 split. It just depends. Now, West, he has tendencies to not want to hold on to the ball. So if that happens,
hold on to the ball.
Huh?
You got to hold on to the ball.
You got to do that. So if that be the case, you know, you might see Buck, you know, overtake him a little bit with carries.
I kind of want him to, just so I can say Buck every week.
Yeah, man, that's
it's fun.
It is.
Buck Allen, somebody that pay attention to, especially if you're a Terrence West owner, maybe. Yeah. I don't really want to say I would handcuff these two because they're kind of wishy-washy. I mean, you saw that Buck Allen had 21 carries. I doubt Buck Allen's going to get 40 carries if Terrence West goes out.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's what they had combined almost yesterday. So it's not like this is a gold mine that you're going to go after. If you have somebody that got hurt week 1 and you have no better options on your bench, which hopefully you do.
Yeah.
But if not, I mean, Buck Allen, low stash.
Yeah.
He's very minimal fab budget on Buck Allen. I mean, it's nothing that you need to sell the farm on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's out there, and somebody's going to take him.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to him.
That was him calling now?
He just called my phone. He's like, dude, why am I getting no love? I got 21 carries in the NFL yesterday.
Exactly, man.
Throwing shade on him.
Hey, wait a minute.
Well, let's get into a better option at running back, Buck, in case you're listening. And very small body of work.
Yeah.
And the fantasy knowledge is just flowing over there because we're switching lights. That's it. We're switching lights tomorrow because my light never goes out.
Hey.
And either I have no fantasy knowledge or there's something wrong with your light. Kerwynn Williams. And the only reason Kerwynn Williams is brought up is because of what we said at the very beginning of the show, David Johnson's injury.
Yeah.
David Johnson with a wrist injury. At first, it looked pretty bad. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. I mean, he was rolling around and everything on the field.
Man, let me tell you something. Can you imagine how I felt yesterday?
You were probably doing the same thing on your living room floor.
Rolling around. Was looking at me like, what in the world is my father doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was tough.
It was bad. I don't understand why they put him back into the game afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they just didn't realize that it was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If that's my star running back, I'm sure as heck not throwing him back out there.
No.
He left the game for a few plays, came back in. Everybody released anxiety.
Yeah.
Fumbled the next play because he couldn't even hold on to the ball. Took him out of the game, and he's been done, since then. The x-rays came back negative. Nothing's broken.
Yes.
But they're saying it could be a sprained wrist. Sprain? Or sprain? Sprain.
Say his
There's no
wrist,
G in there.
No. His wrist.
His wrist is hurt.
His wrist be hurting. So, it's something to keep an eye on. But Kerwynn, I don't think is that. To be honest with you, I don't think any other running back other than David Johnson. I don't trust anybody in that offense, number one. So if you're a David Johnson owner, depending on how you drafted, if you still got, decent backs, just be cool. Just wait it out, see what's going on, see what the news says. Listen to us, and we'll tell you. But if it happens to be an extensive period of time, then I would look elsewhere. I wouldn't typically look at that offense for.
Don't be forgetting about Larry Fitzgerald. You can't say no part of that offense.
Well, okay, yeah.
No part of the running.
No part of the running game. Yeah, I don't look to handcuff. David with Kerwynn, or they might even bring back Charles Johnson, Chris Johnson.
Charles Johnson, I think, was a receiver.
Yeah,
he probably wouldn't be a very good running back.
I don't think so. But he was bad though.
He had some weird hair. I remember didn't he have blonde hair? Blonde curly hair. Yeah. But no, Kerwynn Williams. He had 5 carries for 10 yards and a touchdown. He took the touchdown that David was going to get.
Yeah, he would have got that one.
Yeah, that was a goal line carry right when David went out. So that's the only reason he got the touchdown. But
yeah,
if David is out, Kerwynn Williams will be likely the starter. Like you said, though, I'm not.
No, because he's going to split with Ellington, and it's pretty much going to turn into the Fitz smoke show.
Yeah, you're not going to get the production that David was getting out of Kerwynn like you would some of these other backs in other systems.
Right.
If Kareem Hunt goes out in week 2, Charkandrick West is an automatic RB. High-end RB2, low-end RB1.
Yes.
Just because of the offense. If Le'Veon Bell, who played horribly, comes out and gets hurt next week, James Conner automatically gets put in that same category.
Yep.
Kerwynn Williams does not.
No.
He doesn't have the same skill set. He's still a good running back. He still will be average, but he's not worth, going after with everything you got. No. Because, that David Johnson's just special. You know what I'm saying? That offense or the line exactly is not one of your elite lines. Like you said, it's not one of those like KC or Pittsburgh that you can just almost plug and play anybody and they will excel. So, yeah, you got to temper your expectations when it comes to that offensive line. Yeah, no, it's worth watching. I mean, if Kerwynn Williams comes out this next week and gets 20 carries for $120, right? All right, maybe, but he's gonna have to show it to me first. 5 carries for 10 yards. That ain't gonna. And a little bit of work last year is not gonna. Not gonna cut it. I'd rather go out and get another name on this list. Is Chris Thompson. Yeah. Now, Chris Thompson doesn't run the ball very much, which is weird to tell him it's a running back to go pick up who doesn't run the ball. Mm-hmm. He's a lot more involved in the passing game for Washington.
Yeah.
He had 3 carries for 4 yards, 4 catches for 52 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's pretty average for Chris Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
The touchdown is a bonus, obviously, but Chris Thompson does this. He's done it for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
he just produces from the passing game. He's going to get 4 to 7 catches a game.
Yeah, easy.
And he's got the ability to break one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially in a PPR league, I'm looking to pick up a Chris Thompson before I pick up a Kerwynn Williams.
Yeah. You know, he's kind of like your theoretic type back. And again, like you said, PPR, he's gold. That offense, don't look at what happened, in week 1 and base it off of that as far as the offense as a whole. They slowed and they struggled just a tad bit. That offense is going to be smoking hot.
Yep. So we got a lot of flack for the Patriots too.
Right.
The Patriots aren't going to be like that all year.
No.
Listen, everybody's going to have down weeks.
Yeah.
So it happened in week 1.
Exactly.
Don't go selling all your Patriots off because they're done for. Just wait.
Yeah.
I mean, every year Aaron Rodgers struggles at the beginning of the year and has to go out and tell the media not to worry about it. And they come back and he's an MVP candidate every year. Just be patient.
Yeah.
If your stud didn't produce or you sat a stud that you thought wasn't going to produce and they did, listen, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
You can't get all of it right. There's no way. I don't care if you're involved and this is your full-time day-to-day job. I mean, look at some of these guys that are professionals that do this type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't get it all right.
No.
And they involve their entire life is this stuff.
Exactly.
Not anybody. You're never going to know 100%. You can get the facts that we can tell you, and you can base the decisions off of that. And we're more than willing to help you make those decisions.
Yeah.
It's just don't, base 1 week and then sell on a player because he had one bad week. Gronk had a horrible week. Yes.
Exactly.
You better keep Gronk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's fantasy. Hopefully those weeks don't happen again for a while.
Yeah, I mean, statistics and analytics.
Easy for you to say.
Exactly. That all, comes into play. But again, like you said, you can make a sit-start decision, but sometimes, it doesn't. It just depends. It's variables that happen throughout a game, and you're like, oh man, okay, you just didn't expect it, and that was the same thing that happened in Thursday night's game. I mean, a lot of those guys that a lot of people started. Tom Brady, whatever, Gronk. It just didn't pan out that way. Game flow. I mean, it's a lot of variables.
Yep, and that's going to happen every week.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for it. Have some of these guys. That's why we tell you these guys to pick up, is so you have somebody there that you can kind of gauge against. Sometimes it's not always the best bet to put the stud in. Sometimes it is. More than likely, you drafted them there for a reason.
Yeah.
So start them. And if they have bad weeks, don't freak out. You know what I mean? Don't freak out. A guy that had an awesome play, which then on paper looks like he had an awesome week. Austin Hooper, tight end of the Falcons.
Yeah.
Okay, he had 2 catches for 128 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So Austin Hooper is going to be somebody that a lot of people go out and try to grab if he's not owned already.
Right.
But let me tell y'all, he's not going to get an 88-yard touchdown play every week. You take away that 88-yard touchdown, he had, 1 catch for 40 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not that involved.
No.
He made one really good play. All the credit in the world to Austin Hooper for his long touchdown run. I mean, he did a lot of that himself.
Yeah.
But, I mean, otherwise he has 1 catch, and yet he's on a list of people to go pick up.
Yeah.
The only reason I wanted to bring him up is so people don't see that 128 and like, oh, this guy is going off this year. Whoa, just wait a second. He's not that involved. He's going to be 3 to 4 catches a game, maybe. Don't look at that yardage. Maybe.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. That offense is still going to flow through the backs. Julio, number 1. So, yeah, that was a great performance. But again, he's not somebody that I would depend on on a weekly.
And that's why you kind of got to break the stats down a little bit. A lot of people just look at the yardage and they're like, man, he had 128 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was 2 catches. So he's not that involved.
No.
I mean, there's going to be somebody, I guarantee you, there's going to be a league this week. And if you do this, you should have listened to us. That they're going to bench Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
or Rob Gronkowski, and they're going to play Austin Hooper.
And then they're going to be disappointed.
And they're probably going to be disappointed.
Yes.
I mean, Austin Hooper's a great tight end. Don't get me wrong. He's just not as involved as the other guys.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just somebody can take him if they want him and keep him on their bench as a flyer. Not going to recommend putting Austin Hooper in your starting lineup next week over some of these other stud tight ends. And that's all I got to say about that. Forrest, yeah. We'll get on here to the last guy that you brought up earlier. Somebody I know that you are really high on.
Man.
I mean, like, it's almost like on an unsafe level high.
Well, wait a minute now.
But Mr. Chris Carson.
Yeah, dude.
Running back for the Seahawks. I'll let you do your spiel on him.
Well, you know, like I said, you know, being a football fan, you know, played a little football back in my heyday. The thing, I love running backs. I always wanted to be a running back. You know what I'm saying? I was just a little too heavy. You know, I was before.
Well, not anymore. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I have, you know, but
apparently not. Have you seen Tolbert lately?
Yeah. Tolbert's a big boy. But so that was my favorite position. You know what I mean? And you know, I go by the eye test a lot. And Chris Carson passes it, man. I'm telling you, dog. It's just everything about the way, you know, he's patient. You know. He's got good hands, catches the ball well. And one main thing, I mean, he pass pro. I mean, he's awesome. So Russell, he really likes him. He trusts him. Looking back at the game, you know, this past week, he was really the best back in that offense. I know Rawls is hurt, but when is Rawls not hurt?
Yeah, always.
You know what I'm saying? Procise is going to be that third down guy. Again, and I know this is where we differ with the the offensive line and everything, and I understand and I get it. But to me, I think Chris Carson is gonna end up winning that job and running away with it. He's the type of back that he can make little out of nothing. You know,
he's gonna have to though on every play.
True, but I think with that offense, the way it's gonna click. Russell's gonna be running. It is what it is. He's gonna have to run for his life this year. But again, you know, the short dump passes, Chris Carson can take one. He can take a 5-yard pass and turn it into a 39, 40-yard gain. You know what I'm saying? He just has that ability. So if you guys are looking for somebody with just high upside, somebody you can put on your bench and just stash, I would highly suggest Chris Carson.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris Carson's probably going to be, out of everybody we've talked about, running back wise, the first to probably be like the standalone option.
Yes,
he'll have the first opportunity to win an outright job,
at
some point throughout the year.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm just wary of it because the offensive line is just so bad. Yeah, which is weird because Seattle's always got, in the past 2 years, all of a sudden, 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah,
they've put nothing into their offensive line really. And it's starting to show. And, I mean, all they're going to get out of it is a hurt quarterback and running backs with nowhere to run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Chris Carson, he's not a bad stash. I just wouldn't count on him yet.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of questions, too, yesterday with the injury to Allen Robinson. Tearing his ACL. He's done for the year. Everybody needs to go pick up Marquise Lee or Allen Hurns. Okay, this is going to be my take on it, and you may differ, but I'm not quick to rush to get out Lee or Hurns,
right? Because
Blake Bortles is still a part of that equation.
Yeah,
I think Bortles had like 11 completions for 120 yards yesterday. They ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Fournette and Ivory had a bunch of touches yesterday.
Yeah,
and the numbers that Bortles got, that's kind of what I want my receiver to get: 125 yards. Yeah. Not like quarterback to get 120. He's not going to throw all of those passes to one guy.
Right. No.
So temper your expectations. I'm not too high on the Jacksonville receivers.
No, not at all, man. Even going back to Fournette, I know we've talked about him as well. Yeah, he showed flashes yesterday. Again, offense is going to run through him or that running game. But like I said, the injury risk that you're taking with him, if the ankle starts to tweak, and he starts to miss time, that offense is just gonna crumble. I don't want no parts. The only part I want out of that Jacksonville organization is the defense.
Their defense did look pretty good.
Defense looks phenomenal. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I'm not too high on anything Jacksonville.
No.
All right, well, I'm going to run through real quick here a few start sits just for each position. I'll give you a quick reason why, but these are our start sits for the week, or at least my start sits for the week. I don't want to put words in your mouth over there. You can feel free to chime in.
All right.
We'll start off on quarterback. Start of the week's going to be Derek Carr.
Okay.
Derek Carr looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, that was against a tough Tennessee defense. He did everything he needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, they get the Jets at home. Derek Carr has a chance for a big week. Marshawn looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he sat out a whole quarter to rest, which I have a feeling is probably going to happen a lot.
And ate Skittles.
He ate Skittles and chilled.
Yeah.
But the offense as a whole, Amari Cooper looked like he'd been pumping some iron. He's huge. And I think he carried 4 guys into the end zone at one point.
Yeah.
He took a 8-yard slant and carried the other 4 dudes the last 5 yards.
Yeah.
He seems to be, on point. Michael Crabtree still. Jared Cook was getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
The whole offense looked good.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for Derek Carr to have a big week against the Jets next week.
Yeah.
Sit of the week, and we just praised him a little bit ago. And I know you disagree, but Jared Goff, and let me tell you why. Everybody's going to see 300 yards on the stat sheet, and they're going to assume that that's like the new normal for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm trending upwards. Maybe slightly, like very low percentage.
Right.
He's going to have to do that for more than 1 week for me.
Yeah.
He can't just come out and throw for 300 yards in one game and all of a sudden me crown him as, he's gotten a lot better, especially when he played the Colts.
Yeah.
The Colts didn't even know who they played yesterday. Did you see the clip of the coach after the game? He said that they got their butt kicked by the 49ers.
Wow.
They played the Rams. They don't even know who they were playing.
That's pretty bad.
So that's bad. So until Jared Goff can beat a better team, which they play the Redskins next week, Redskins going to be looking for redemption after being embarrassed by the Eagles.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Jared Goff's going to have a hard Wednesday next week.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, again, I'm kind of on the other end of the spectrum because I've been a fan of this Rams offense and McVay and the potential. But no, I can agree with that. You might want to at least wait another week.
Just see it. If he does it again, my trend's up. Start looking a little bit better.
Right.
But I got to see it for somebody else besides the Colts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Running back, start of the week, Ty Montgomery.
Yeah.
Ty looked good against the Seattle defense. Got banged up a little bit there. Made me hold my breath for a minute.
Yeah.
He came back in, finished strong. Ty Montgomery, if he can do that against the Seahawks, he can definitely do it against anybody else in the league. If that's what he does against the hardest defense,
dude.
They got the Falcons at home next week. Ty Montgomery is going to be huge. He's going to be involved in the passing game, the running game, the overall game plan. He will be involved.
And I've talked about him. I own him actually myself, and I'm a huge fan of Ty's. And just springboarding off even what one of the great running backs said, Thompson, LT. He said that he could see Ty potentially having a 1,500-yard season this year. 10 plus.
If he can stay healthy, absolutely.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that.
Yep, like Ty against the Falcons. Sit of the week is going to be DeMarco Murray. DeMarco struggled last week. He didn't look explosive. He's not really ever been explosive. He just didn't look normal to me.
Right.
He didn't look like last year's DeMarco Murray. He looked like an aged DeMarco Murray, kind of. And next week they got Jacksonville at home. That Jacksonville defense stunned a lot of people. I mean, they've got a lot of young talent that everybody knew was going to be good. They came out on week 1 and put it together, and they were electric. Yeah. And they're going to be at home for their home opener. I'm not liking DeMarco Murray next week. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled. If you got him, you're probably going to have to start him.
Yeah.
But just be prepared that he's not going to have the biggest of weeks.
No.
Wide receivers, start of the week is going to be Larry Fitzgerald. I know you said you didn't want any part of that offense, and I almost smacked you. Larry Fitzgerald, I think, had 13 targets yesterday.
Yeah.
And if David is out, that number is going to go up.
Oh, yeah.
He's not on the outside. He's in the slot, so he doesn't have to worry about the team's best corner, and this is where this all comes into play. He plays the Colts next week. The Colts, I don't know if they could compete with our local high school team, much less another NFL team. They looked horrible. Yeah. Horrible. They don't have Vontae Davis. The secondary's in shambles. They can't stop anybody. Larry Fitzgerald, if he gets even the same amount of targets as he got last week, could have a big week. Looking for Fitz to bust out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The sit of the week is going to be on the opposite side of the field of Fitz, and that's going to be T.Y. Hilton. And let me tell you why with T.Y. It's his quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, Scott Tolzien did not look like he was ready yesterday. He wasn't ready. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he struggled against the Rams without Aaron Donald. I mean, that's their best defensive lineman, and he was still getting pressured beyond belief.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, I don't want to say they were embarrassed, but they got their backside whipped by Detroit. They gave up a lot of yards there in that second half that I don't think they were expecting. Their defense is better than that. Patrick Peterson got torched. That's not normal.
That ain't normal.
You know, the Honey Badgers back there, all those guys are going to come with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. And I'm not looking for a very big day for T.Y. Hilton.
No. The only hope that he has is if Jacoby wins that starting job, because I think he's a better quarterback. He just he hadn't been given the chance as of yet.
He didn't even know the playbook.
No.
He just was out there winging it yesterday.
Yeah.
His first play was like a 50-yard bomb to Moncrief.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what the play is. I'm just going to throw it deep and somebody go get it.
Go long.
Yeah, like we used to do like in the front yards. But yeah, T.Y. Hilton, tempered expectations. Tight end, start of the week, we already talked about him, Charles Clay.
Yeah.
He's got the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. And I think week to week, he's going to be somebody that is going to get that production that we're both looking for.
Yeah.
Consistent production.
Oh, yeah.
If you're streaming tight ends, if you don't have a stud tight end, pick up Charles Clay.
Yeah.
Play him.
Indeed.
Sit of the week, Tyler Eifert. He came out. I think he had like one catch for less than 10 yards.
Yeah. That whole
offense looked horrible. The Bengals just looked, which is weird because preseason everybody was so high on the Bengals with AJ, and I know John Ross is out, but Eifert and Mixon.
Yeah.
No.
And Dalton.
Yeah, he came out and I think he completed more passes to the other team.
Yeah.
He looked horrible.
Yeah.
But Tyler Eifert, they're going to be at home next week against Houston. Houston was just embarrassed at their place. J.J. Watt's got his bone put back in his finger and got some tape on it, so he's good.
Yeah.
Tyler Eifert, I just don't know if I can rely on him right now. No. With all the injuries he's had in the past and his lackluster performances. You like that? Lackluster?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good word. I'm going to use that one more often. He's just not appealing to me.
No.
I mean, he had one good year, really, and I'm starting to fall off that bandwagon pretty quick.
Yeah.
I need to see him come back. I need that whole offense to come back before I start Tyler Eifert.
And Houston's going to bounce back. They didn't do well at all.
Yep. Only other ones, and I'll run through kickers and defenses like really quick. I know a lot of people don't care about this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Kickers start Mason Crosby. The Packers offense is amazing. If they can put up that many points against Seattle, they're going to Atlanta. Indoors, like Mason Crosby. Sit and a Vinatieri. I think anybody on the Colts, I'm just going to sit from now on. Yesterday he missed 2. I think he was the only kicker in the NFL that hadn't missed an extra point yet. Yesterday he missed 1 and a field goal. He's starting to look his 57-year-old age.
Yeah.
Defenses start the Arizona Cardinals against the Colts. I'm telling you, there's a reoccurring theme here.
Yeah.
I think in the past we've always picked on the Saints.
Yeah.
And I think this is the Colts year.
Yeah.
If you play a Colts player, you need to put them in. And then instead of the week, Falcons against Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay is just that offense is on point. They didn't even have to get their whole playbook involved yesterday to beat Seattle.
No.
Devontae Adams wasn't even really used very much.
And Round the Cobb he looked nice yesterday.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that's a bunch of names. Go out there, take a look at your waiver wire, see what's available. Hit us up on Twitter. We got a ton of questions last year.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the support. We do track every bit of information we give you guys. If we give you any advice, we keep track of it. We write it down. We're trying to get the stuff as dialed in as we can. Last week, 60% correct.
Yeah.
I mean, for week 1, with everything that happens, 60% correct is pretty.
I'll take it.
I mean, that's pretty tough. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think anybody's ever going to get you 100% correct advice. Otherwise, they got one of those Back to the Future. All sports almanacs.
Exactly.
But we'll get you close. I mean, we'll get you in the right direction. Make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, Gmail. Make sure you're checking out our website. Updated rankings will be out here later for this week, for week 2. We appreciate all your guys' support. Let us know if you got any questions. We're here for you. Appreciate it.
All right. Peace.